Texas Podcast Massacre contains spoilers and adult language. For more horror, visit us at our website at texaspodcastmassacre.com.
Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, coming to you from Houston, Texas. I'm your host, Mitch, and with me, as always, is the axle to my wheel, Nate.
I'm happy you didn't say axle to your rose, so I'm happy about that.
Every Mitch has his Nate.
That was a sad song. My quote for the episode: "Hey, wait, it's not the end. He's been reincarnated as a tricycle."
God. And of course, our queen of unsuspecting victims, Lisa.
They see me rolling. They hating.
Patrolling
and trying to catch me exploding heads.
That's H-Town's favorite son, Chameleonaire. Thank you.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh,
Yeah. I think we got that in Bun. We claimed that in Bun B, Trillionaire.
Paul Wall.
Oh, and of course, Paul Wall. Well, of course. I mean,
of course. They can't leave Paul Wall. Yeah, come on.
Oh, my God. With that said, welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, where each week we take a look at a different horror movie and debate a horror-related topic with our unsuspecting victim, who is usually not someone we would consider a horror fan. We went the gamut of all of our friends trying to get someone to talk about this one. And I mean, their heads literally exploded when we told them the concept. So it's just us. I think there was some interest, but just anyway. But this is a listener.
I don't know what that was supposed. There was some interest, but
this movie was a listener recommendation. Thank you for your 5-star review, Chloe. Despite your terrible decision about Basements being 70% better than Addicts, which I want to see the math.
Yeah,
I would like to see the math on that. Is all I'm saying.
Show your work.
Yes. So she recommended Rubber, and here we are talking about Rubber. This is something. I mean, Nate, I think it's been a while since you've seen. I know. I think I saw it at like one of those like midnight movies. I was drunk. I clearly was when I first saw it. I was not near as drunk this time. Will the experience be the same? Who knows? I don't know how it was for you this time around.
It was worse.
It was worse.
I don't remember how. I think I might have been had a drink or two. Just nothing crazy. It sounds you were going hard, but nothing crazy for me the first time.
Always going hard.
Did not enjoy it as much the second time.
Lisa, what? This is your first time seeing this. I'm interested. Was this everything you could have hoped it would be?
What in the holy moly did I watch?
Yeah. All right. We're back in it. We've had, to Nate's point, we've had too many just like either good movies or movies at least we all sort of felt the same about. I'm excited to be at a movie that really is, what the hell was this? Very excited. Look, we are going to get into it today. But first, let's have a patented Texas Podcast Massacre debate question.
Our father, the Sea King, rise from the depths full, foul in his fury. Black waves teeming with salt foam to smother this young mouth with pungent slime.
Oh man, the pungent slime. No slime in this one. Very much in a desert. Nate, what as you crack that beer open to get us going?
That was not me. That was not me.
Oh, Lisa. Oh shit, Lisa's cracking
going
them.
for it.
She's getting ready.
The rubber's hitting the road.
Oh my god, release the Kraken. That was terrible. I hate myself.
This week's episode sponsored by Kraken for the nights you like to forget that you forgot. Kraken.
Oh my god. Nate, do you have a debate question for us for this?
I do actually. Yes.
I knew you would.
Okay. In the movie Rubber,
Thanks for clarifying.
Sentient tire killing people, but that's not really the interesting part of this movie. The interesting part is that there's a whole meta storyline around people watching the movie happening, right? At one point there is the main human character in the film, Lieutenant Chad, has a monologue in the beginning saying that random stuff happens in movies all the time. The things he listed weren't very random. Most of them made sense, but it got me thinking. We've seen a lot of random stuff in the movies that we've watched, and I'm specifically targeting Lisa with this question. A lot of random nonsense that we've seen in a movie. I wanted to see, pick out your favorite highlight of a random thing we've seen as we've watched how many 200 plus movies at this podcast.
Oh my gosh.
So what is a highlight? Why did this happen moment in Texas Podcast Massacre history that stuck out to you?
Every time someone goes into a basement, I wonder why.
Good answer.
I walked into that.
I'm trying to think of something.
No, well, you shouldn't have. That's
though.
what Lisa's saying. You shouldn't have walked into that. That's, I think.
I shouldn't have walked into that. There we are. There we are. Yeah, I mean, in the beginning, okay, just as some context for the listeners here. He goes in ET, why is the alien brown? No reason. In JFK, why is the president suddenly assassinated by some stranger? No reason. In Chainsaw Massacre, and first of all, leaving out the Texas, what we're talking about here, by Tobe Hooper, why don't we ever see the characters go to the bathroom or wash their hands like people do in real life? In The Pianist by Polanski, how come this guy has to hide and live like a bum when he plays the piano so well? Once again, the answer is no reason. A lot of reasons there, but that's the quote. That was like 1/10 of what he was talking about. In this movie, I think, why does anything happen? There's no reason to. So it stays with the theme. But I just got me thinking. There's just so many just nonsense things that we've seen in this podcast, right?
I don't know why I'm blanking on every single movie we've ever watched for the podcast.
I wonder
every single movie.
I know, right? I wonder though. I mean, for Lisa as an unsuspecting victim, I've got to assume though, like everything is, why is this happening? There's no reason for you, right? Because
yeah,
you're overloaded.
Yeah, I mean, give me one of yours, and we can go back and forth a little bit because there's a few. But what do you?
Okay, yeah. I mean, I have a lot.
Yeah, give me one. Maybe let's see if maybe we can.
Gotta go to one of the all-time best episodes of this, episode 79, Ice Cream Man.
Oh,
when he kills the guy. When he kills the guy.
That whole movie is why.
When he kills the guy and puts his head in the ice cream cone, that is like a 4-foot tall ice cream cone or something. That is one of my all-time favorite. No reason for that. There's so many different ice cream related kills you could do, but to put a full head inside of like a novelty oversized ice cream cone is just incredible. So that's one of the classics for me.
It's movies that we've done as previous episodes, right? Not movies that we haven't talked about, right?
Sure. Yeah. And another one for me, Birdemic, with the Yoko Ono tie-in. Why were there so many Yoko Ono tie-ins in Birdemic? No reason.
No, yeah, there's
no reason. This is so stupid. There's so many. This is where all the bad movies really shine.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's I have a lot. I don't know if you want me to keep going.
Man, I mean, there's so much of this is just no reason. I mean,
all of Thanksgiving, no reason.
All of Thanksgiving. What about that incredible song, the friendship song?
Why?
No reason.
Why in Sinister did he have to move into the house? Like he had to move his whole family in there.
Because he was losing money by not writing good books anymore.
He had to move into the murder house then.
I don't know if you know this, murder house is usually a little bit less expensive than non-murder houses.
Get a pretty good deal.
That's my experience. I've been looking at the housing market recently. So I don't know how many of them are murder houses. Bam. Maybe I should recheck my house. Too late.
Poltergeist, why did they have to build on top of an Indian burial ground? No reason.
Because it's cheaper. Come on, guys. It's probably that land was probably a lot cheaper to get than the prime non-cursed land.
Yeah, but by the time you have to claim insurance for Poltergeist, I mean, it's all comes out.
Party bus to hell. Why did they have to kill? Why did the dog have to explode? Episode 67
seemed worth it.
No,
I had forgotten that. I had forgotten that. That's right. I forgot about that incredibleness.
Slice. Why is there a cheddar goblin?
That
or Mandy? I mean, Mandy. Sorry, Mandy.
Yeah,
sorry, they're next to each other. I was looking at the list of episodes. Mandy.
I have one about Brightburn. Is why did he have to chew on the fork? Which is becoming
in order for you to fully know this kid is just awful from the get go. Like this is full nature,
but
not
fork
nurture.
chew. I mean, it gets it across, but why? Why is it fork chew?
Nate, I'm looking at this list of episodes. I don't remember some of these movies that we did. When did we do Overlord?
When did we do Overlord?
Yeah, did I even watch Overlord?
You were there. You were there.
Like I don't think I've ever missed. I don't know that I've ever missed an episode. You
never have. You were there. It was you and I. Man, what is happening?
Wow.
I don't know. Oh my god.
In Carousel, why is there a
Carousel is just
unicorn sex scene?
You could just stop at why.
Well, in Carousel, how and why does the unicorn who comes off the carousel is able to garrote wire kill somebody?
Why
with
does
2 hands?
Why does the turkey in
sense?
Thanksgiving bang someone?
But also use the rubber, so it links back to this episode nicely. So,
I think we need to move on.
There's a lot. Anyway, look,
Lisa,
this movie's calling.
Why has Lisa been a part of almost 230 episodes total?
No
that is the
reason.
Greatest question of them all.
Oh my goodness! Look, we want to know what is your favorite thing is there something that stuck out to you that's like, why did this happen? Because there's absolutely no reason.
Inexplicable something.
I mean, this is like this is like the Indiana Jones thing, right? Like Indiana Jones did not need to be like everything would have happened whether he was there or not. Him being there, there's no reason for him to be a part of this movie.
Yeah,
that
is Houseu the ultimate no reason movie?
Yeah.
I think Houseu could be the ultimate no reason movie. No reason. Why did a guy turn into a pile of bananas in a car?
No reason.
Okay. I think we might have found the winner there. Why did someone give Goldberg a movie where he's saying
did you see the movie? That's why.
I did, and we did enjoy it quite a bit.
Jason Takes Manhattan. Why does he never show up to Manhattan?
He's in Manhattan.
He shows up to like Times Square, and that's
like
it.
for 3 seconds.
Yeah,
yep, that's it. You don't need anything else. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Houseu. I was thinking Ice Cream Man was my winner, but Houseu just breaks the bank on there's no logical reason.
The problem is, yeah, you're right. The bad movies are the ones that really like. A lot of them are just no reason because it's just ridiculous. Like Velocipaster. It's just why. There's not even a whole lot of just why does this exist.
Because Velocipaster sounds like Velociraptor. That's why.
That's it.
There's no other reason. And I'm okay with it because that movie worked out nice. That was back to back. Hausu and Velocipaster. Wow.
What a wonderful period of our lives.
Yeah, that was great.
Look, if you have one that you want to tell us about, let us know. Texas Podcast Massacre at gmail.com. TX Pod Massacre on Twitter. Texas Podcast Massacre everywhere else. Nate, we do on occasion get on Twitter and say hi and read stuff, you know. I don't know if you've been paying attention today as we're recording this.
I did see something.
Yeah. Yes. Well, you know, so Texas Chainsaw Massacre has just come out on Netflix, which is the sequel. I don't know what exactly it's supposed to be. Haven't watched it.
It's like
yet.
an in between. It's like the lone years. Leatherface the alone years.
Yeah. Well,
basically. Good
friend of the show, Kev Castle, kind of mentioned that, hey, if you want to see an actual better and scarier 70s horror film. So this is a tale of, this is speaks perfectly. I think to horror fans in general. Also just a staple of the show. Kev Castle absolutely agrees with you, Nate. He says, want to see an actual better and scarier 70s horror film than Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Watch the 1979 film Tourist Trap. Underrated masterpiece.
Yeah. It's from your lips to God's face.
From Kev Castle's fingers to God's face. Sure. Responding to that.
That's not fingers to face.
He's typing it. It's Twitter. Now, responding to that is at Engelman Matthew 1. He says fuck Tourist Trap. I almost thought that was David typing it. Who was on that episode with us.
Did we just dox?
It was me.
Twitter handle.
I think right. It was you, Lisa. It
was me.
There's no gray area. No one was like, oh, it's kind of okay, sure, or
Tourist Trap.
No, it was. Shit. It seems like all their sponsors are like, Tourist Trap's amazing, or that movie can fuck right off and die. So
yeah,
let us know where
all
you
the great movies
that.
Are divisive. Come on, all the great ones are.
I've come around to it. I didn't
go
appreciate
back
it.
And watch.
I didn't appreciate. Oh, go ahead, Lisa. Go ahead.
What? No, when was it? Like episode 30 something?
It was actually
like episode 4 or something like that.
That was that early?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we did that garbage movie that early, and I'm still here.
No, you know what? What's funny?
It was 12. Episode 12.
And Lisa, I actually think.
Oh my gosh.
I actually think that you might actually appreciate
Omen
it more.
Was too. Yeah,
more now that after everything else you've seen.
No. That's a nice thought, but no.
Do we go back? Do we do an episode a second time and get Kevin Castle on it and see?
We could do a second chance episode.
I like that idea because, first of all, more Tourist Trap, so 100% on board. Second of all, I get to watch the other director commentary this time, so I'm very pleased.
Well,
very pleased to get to do that.
Get excited for that, and of course, dude. I mean, if you're screaming at us right now, hearing this, going, "Dear God, no more Tourist Trap," scream at us at our voicemail 346-246-3143.
Let those pro Tourist Trap voices be heard.
Be like an
Team Trap. Are we Team Trap?
Be like an Alabama fan calling Paul Feinbaum. Send us your rants. Send us your what now?
Did not get that reference. What is happening?
All my SEC folks know it. You haven't heard. You don't know this. Paul Feinbaum, SEC radio call-in show.
Heard about this? No, I've not heard.
Yeah, he has a show for SEC schools for the football. I mean, I guess for others,
SEC Network or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, there's a very famous clip of a very famous Alabama fan who'd called in a lot, who I called in and just berated him for like 6 minutes, calling him like cow turd, and just because he made the suggestion that maybe Nick Saban's dynasty was over. It's real funny.
How dare he?
It's real funny. I want that. Feel free to call and yell at us. It's fine. We can take it. I mean, we'll cry when we're not recording. We won't give you that satisfaction of hearing it. But, I mean, still, no, give us a call. Let us know. We'll play it on air. And also, obviously, any of your 5-star reviews, let us know.
This is really starting an existential crisis for me. What if my legacy's over for the podcast? Oh, man. Oof. Do we watch too many good movies in a row that now my legacy of picking shitty movies for the podcast is over?
Well, I think
that was what's happening here.
I think we're going to correct it with this one.
Wow. Okay. Well, I didn't pick this one. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God.
Me picking bad movies hasn't happened in forever.
True.
Oh my God. Wow. This is really, I'm spun now. This is okay. Whew.
Well, while Nate takes a cold hard look at
the main part of this movie.
Yeah, while Nate takes a cold hard look in the mirror, I guess we're gonna get into this week's movie of the week, Rubber.
This is what our killer looks like.
Tired.
What brand of tire?
Probably brandless. Yes.
Is it black?
I'm starting to like it.
Door just opened.
Come on, be a good boy. Blow my head off.
Again.
Come on, closer.
You get one of you guys with a flamethrower, just go.
Anybody there? Weirdos.
Well, the trailer it needs to be watched as I guess the movie does, because it is just bonkers.
It's coming out hard, pro movie. All right, I like it.
It's a movie you probably should watch. This is one of those movies that I just don't think anyone's going to be able to like tell you about and do it justice. Right?
That's fair.
Like,
yeah.
we're going to go through the beats, and if you just haven't seen it, like, I don't know, we'll get into it. Lisa, what was the elevator pitch for this film?
Don't even ask me the elevator pitch for this film. It's about a murderous tire and the people that watch it.
Okay.
Are those people us? Is it a metaphor about us?
Oh Lord. Don't get too deep with this one.
Worst turkey dinner of all time. We missed that point.
Well,
yeah, no kidding.
There's that. Nate, what can you tell us about Rubber?
Rubber premiered in 2010. This movie played at Cannes Film Festival, guys. So,
did it win the Palme d'Or?
It did not win the Palme d'Or. I got good reviews. This movie premiered at Cannes. Of course, in the U.S., it premiered at Fantastic Fest in Austin. Of course, our favorite film festival. And then came out. Wide release is probably generous, but in 2010 in France, and then 2011 straight to video on demand to DVD in the US, early 2011. The movie budget was about $800K, box office $680, but it lives on as I would say. Is this a cult classic movie? Cult-ish? Deep cut? Maybe more of a deep cut?
Maybe more of a deep cut. I don't know that.
But well regarded.
Yeah.
We know some people who know this movie like, oh, the Tire Kill movie. Oh yeah. Like, oh yeah. Like you're not, if you see this movie, you're like, this is the tire murder movie. I mean,
yeah.
Everyone's it's a reverse aftershock.
Sure.
It's a good palate cleanser after aftershock because that's like the most generic. I'll forget this movie that we've seen in a while. This one is like, I'm never forgetting the Killer Tire movie. I mean, that's locked in. That's what you tell like you and Lisa, you guys are gonna grow old together, get real old, get real decrepit, right?
Thanks for that.
Lisa's gonna be like, Mitch has been slipping a little bit. Like, what do I do to make sure, like, like what like I can do like a mini test to make sure like his his mind is all still there. He'd be like, hey hon, remember the name of that Killer Tire movie? And if he's like, what? You're like, time to go to the hospital. That's what this movie. That was a very roundabout way.
There's a lot. What?
Oh my god.
Anyway, distinct premise is the way that I would describe that.
So not who's the president? What's the day of the week? No, what's the name of the murder tire movie?
You know that it's got to a deeper level at that point. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I've got questions.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
Sure.
So this movie. This movie. So tagline. I'm starting with taglines earlier now. Are you tired of the expected?
Boo.
Careful where you tread.
Oh God.
I knew you would hate those so much. I could not wait. I could not possibly wait at all. The movie was directed by Quentin Dupieux. I don't know French names very well.
I think that was
wrong
all right.
Quentin.
Quint Q. Call him QD.
You have butchered more names like worse than that. So that's passable.
I can't do French names. Give me some Hungarian names.
Well done.
I'm down for that.
Michael Kors action for you. I know.
Yes. So this guy, what is he known for? There's a movie called Reality. That's the highest rated movie they had, which is a wannabe director is given 48 hours by a producer to find the best groan of pain worthy of an Oscar as the only condition to back his film. I don't think they give out pain groan Oscars, but that's the premise of that movie. Another movie called Wrong Cops. A group of bad cops looks to dispose of a body that one of them accidentally shot. It's got Marilyn Manson in it. It's got Marilyn Manson in it, which is why I'm bringing it up, Mitch. So there's that. That's a Mitch special right there. And another movie called Deerskin featuring Jean Dujardin from The Artist, Oscar-winning movie. OSS 117, French spy spoof movies, which I enjoy. And he got that guy to be in one of his movies. So basically all of his movies are comedy and something. So it's like, is it a horror movie with some comedy like this one? Is it a crime movie like the cop one with some comedy? They're all comedy based movies. Latest movie came out in 2020 called Mandibles. When simple-minded friends Jean Gab and Manu find a giant fly trapped in the boot of a car, they decide to train it in the hope of making a ton of cash. That's right. You got a giant fly. So yeah, this guy's movies are weird. And they're weird. So just know what you're getting into based on the description of that is why I'm going into that. I'm not going to get into the actors of this movie because it doesn't matter. And on Rotten Tomatoes, this is a pretty high score. Lisa, if you had to guess the Rotten Tomatoes score on this, what would you guess?
It's probably something dumb like an 8.
An 8 out of 100.
Oh, sorry. So like an 80.
Oh, like an 80.
I forgot what scale we're on.
Sure. No, no worries. Yeah. So Rubber is kind of like a critical darling ish. 68%, not quite as high as that, but
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's well regarded there. Audience score 46, and on IMDb a 5.8. So there you go. Yeah, 78-minute movie. A tight 78 from the version I watched. Feels like it could have been less. It feels like you could have cut about 10 minutes from this easy. And there's an official soundtrack to the movie, which was co-created by Quentin Dupieux. And it is it's all house music. So there you go. So this guy wrote, directed, filmed, edited, and did the music for the movie. So this is a singular auteur doing this work. So yeah, that's it. Initial thoughts. What are you guys thinking about this movie?
It was the weirdest. Weird. I don't even know.
Okay. It was the weirdest weird. I don't
even know what to say.
That's pretty great. That's pretty great, actually.
It's you get kind of confused at some points because you don't know what you're watching. Like, are you watching a murder tire movie? Or are you watching people watch a murder tire? It was so weird and bizarre. I don't even know.
All right. Dang.
Mitchell, what did you think?
I don't know what I thought about this movie.
For all of us at Texas Podcast Massacre, this has been
yeah, peace out. We're done.
I don't know. I feel like I need to get into it a little bit because I don't know that I just
okay.
This is one of those is a weird enough movie that I don't know that I just come out. I think I'll say this. I think that this is a movie that probably does better if you're if you're the type of person that really needs to have some sort of like meaning and you're really trying to connect dots on what's the real message behind it, right? And all that. I think it's fine. I mean, I think if you're just coming in because like most people and you're like, oh, cool, it's a tire that kills people. There's not a whole lot here for that. Like you ramp up to blowing up heads pretty quick. And then that's kind of the high point of it, right? Like,
yeah.
Well, I'm going to say I enjoyed every time I didn't have to see the tire.
Yeah, like
less is
all
more.
The other
less
scenes,
is more with the tire is what you're saying.
Yeah. All the scenes where they're like doing all the meta stuff with the sheriff. I much prefer that over watching the tire just blow everybody up.
And that's kind of my
interesting.
And that's kind of my point. Like I think I think you said it's better than I did. If you're really into like the meta stuff, there's that. I think if you're just coming in just to see like if you're coming in looking for a movie like Hobo with a Shotgun, I think you're going to be disappointed.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is kind of what I thought I was going to get into. And that's why I don't have a solid answer yet. We'll see where I'm at when we get to our final cut. Nate, what about you? So you said that this was a little bit worse this time around for you, or you had better memories of it previously. Tell me about that.
I did. Yeah. What I would say is that when I first saw it, I think I found the meta plot, right? The meta plot around it of people watching the movie happen, which, I mean, how great are these binoculars? These people are looking at the whole movie kind of unfolding with binoculars. As a commentary about like the audience of films. I thought it was cooler than I did this time. This time I was like, okay. I pulled a Mitch and I was like, okay, this is a little much. Get over yourself a little bit. So one of the things that this director did, one of his earlier movies, he snuck into the theater and to like see like the reaction like of to his movie, and no one was in the theater for that showing, and he said it was really creepy. And so that informed this. So it's like a, commentary about the types of people who comment on, right, movies and art in general, and how they're, there's different types of people, and some of them suck and blah, blah, blah. And this time I didn't care for it at all. So I'm actually the opposite. The more the tire was on screen, the better I was having time. So that's why it's interesting to hear the other way. Because I feel like when the tire was getting up in the very beginning, right? And like, learning how to roll instead of walk. That was probably the most I sympathized with any of the characters in the film. So I didn't mind the tire at all. Plus the tire killed a bunch of things. So, positive. A couple animals got killed, Mitch. I know you were a huge fan of that. So, although then they were fake. They're like, oh, this is all fake. And then when the guy shot him, it was fake. Man, that was a little trippy, but I liked the tire more. Plus the tire like basically got like rejected by a woman and then threw itself in the bottom of the swimming pool. I mean, that was hilarious. So what'd you guys think about the comedy in this? Because that is a crucial factor. It's a horror movie. It's like a meta commentary. I thought it was good. And it's supposed to be kind of comedic. So do you think the comedy landed?
I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't really laugh out loud at a bunch of places, but it was funny-ish. Okay. I don't know. I just the tire shaking every time it's about to blow someone's head off drove me crazy.
Yeah, you didn't like that. I couldn't stand the shaking tire. Again.
Yes, it was so annoying. And then this movie, and they did it on purpose, obviously, but it's a whole bunch of no reason stuff, like him driving through the chairs at the very beginning.
That was I laughed out loud. I laughed out loud on that. That was actually funny.
The extended 5-minute cut of them just panning to every person that the tire has killed.
Yeah. Well, and the cop who gave the dialogue came out of the trunk of that car. Remember?
Yeah. Yes. No reason.
So great. I love that. That was the high point of the movie for me. That and when the tire started moving was the high point, which is not good because that was about 8 minutes in the movie. So
pretty much.
Yeah. So that was the high point for me. And then it went downhill from there. It rolled downhill from there. Do you want to get into the story of this?
What story?
Is there a story?
No story.
So the tire becomes sentient and starts rolling. Okay. So we got that. Then the tire's like, oh, it feels kind of nice to like kind of roll over stuff and crush stuff. Then it gets to a bottle it can't crush because the bottle's hard. And it's just a tire with nothing in the middle. So then it starts shaking and makes this weird like that kind of sound, like a scanner's like head explosion, which happens, I would say, a dozen times in this movie practically.
Oh my gosh.
And it breaks the bottle and it's like, oh, cool. So it's killing scorpions, it's killing rabbits, it's killing, what else is it? It kills a lot of things. People, obviously. No dogs though, Mitch. No dogs.
I think, I'm happy.
Easily could have happened. A lot of heads exploded in this.
We had a rabbit explode and a bird.
Yeah, the rabbit.
So it's not like animals were untouched, just no dogs.
Yeah. Was there a bird?
I'm more interested. How did they keep?
There was a little raven or something. Sorry, go ahead, Lisa.
Do tires balance that easily?
No.
Yeah, I was like, they kept a lot of tires upright for a long time.
So they had remote controls inside of the tire, which is why you see a lot of upper 2/3 of the tire shots, obviously. And then obviously, the heads exploding weren't practical effects. Those were CGI. But yeah, it was I think it was all practical effects, if I remember correctly from what I read.
Okay.
So yeah.
Like I was even trying to think, and I really don't care if I'm jumping around to the end. I was even trying to think, how did they get the tricycle to move so easily? But they did a good job. That may be the only good thing I say about this movie. Somehow they made the tire and the tricycle move realistically.
Oh, and when it rotates from tire to tricycle, that I laughed out loud at that too. When the tricycle rolls. Oh, it's been reincarnated to a tricycle. Like, that's great too. So there were some moments in this for sure. Yeah, there were some moments for sure. Okay. Yeah, you're talking me up a little bit here, I think. What do you think, Mitch? Any highlights? Let's just get to the highlights. The story does not matter at all. Other than there are people watching the film and they purposely poison them with like poison turkey.
Yeah.
And then they all die. And then when they die, the movie's supposed to be over. And they go, all right, it's over. But there's one guy who refuses to eat the turkey. And the movie has to keep going. So that's the main plot point, I guess, other than a tire is murdering people and people are watching. So that's basically it. But any highlights in the movie for you, Mitch?
Any highlights?
We went over a few things, but anything else that really stuck out?
Those eclairs look pretty delicious.
Yeah, there's the guy clearly is poisoned food to try to kill this guy and then ends up eating all of it himself.
Yeah, that was really weird.
No reason. It really leans into that part of it in that section for sure. So yeah, there's that. Yeah,
I don't know what I mean. A thing that really stood out in this movie, not really. I mean, I think some of most of the only, I think, interesting thing in this film, at least for me, was around this audience, right? And kind of what was going on with them. I was trying to kind of figure out, like, okay, what's the deal? Like, is everyone kind of in on this like movie sort of thing, right? Because it's, for the largest part, it's the sheriff. Everyone else is like, no, this is real. Like, I don't know. It got real weird with the message.
There's a character called the accountant who's also there too. Who's like, hey, you got to keep going.
Yeah.
and then tries to poison the guy.
And like they're all just standing in the desert, just looking through their binoculars. Although, I mean, those scenes at least were fairly funny. But I don't know. Any big moments? Not really.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. You go ahead. I'm
there was a hilarious part. I laughed out loud 3 times. There was a hilarious part where the guy goes, the tire, like, keeps moving on. And, the story's
continuing. We say, look, the tire has a name.
The tire's, was it Robert? Right?
Robert the tire.
Robert's on the lam. And, just it happens to, is rolling away. The cops are chasing him because the movie has to continue. And, I think that's how it felt for a lot of people. Like, the movie has to continue. Like, oh, come on, this poison that guy, end it, let's do it. But then he's on the lam, and then he sees a tire fire happening, and then it implies 3 days later that he's been on a rampage, killing everyone. I did laugh on that. He saw a tire fire, and then that made him go into a rampage.
Yeah.
And then what does the tire do? Watches TV of NASCAR races so he can see more tires. I thought that was kind of funny. All right. I'm talking myself up on this a little bit, I guess, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, that was really funny to me when he saw the tire fire. I laughed out loud for sure. You want to get to this end? You want to give this ending?
Well, okay. So can I just ask this? I mean,
is it an ending? I don't know.
Well, before we get into the ending, I mean, let me just ask this. Did the whole meta thing work, right? Because if you're trying to find something more to this movie, right, then, hey, there's just a tire that explodes heads. I think the obvious sort of thing they're trying to talk about is, that there's no reason why any of this is happening, but they still need an audience. Otherwise, there's no point in even continuing to do it, right?
Yeah.
Like, right. for all its absurdity,
gone, they say go home.
Yeah.
Yep.
For all the absurdity of what it is, and that it's nothing, right? This whole movie's a bunch of nothing. They're still doing it in front of the audience. I mean, did any of the meta stuff kind of work for y'all? Did y'all appreciate or get any of that deeper meaning, or was it just real dumb and you kind of wish they had just really leaned into the absurd with the tire? Because I guess I'll say for my end, there was so much kind of weirdness around the whole meta stuff, right? Where, you know, because the sheriff said on it, but everyone else is like, what are you talking about? And then you just get shot and they just kind of like play it. And I get that's all kind of parts like everything's no reason and it's all absurd. I'm not French enough to get this, I guess. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, it's absurdist. Yeah.
Yeah.
The more we talk about it, the more I'm liking it.
It didn't work. It just didn't work for me. I think probably it's expectations, right? I think I came back into this wanting it to be more like, for some reason, I just didn't remember the audience stuff. I remember the tire when I saw it. I was real drunk when I saw this the first time.
I only have bandwidth enough to remember there's a tire. That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, I don't know. What did y'all think? Because that's where I'm struggling with this. If I just look at it as tire blows up people, it's not good. My score is super low for this movie. Like I don't even know that I laughed all that much. I laughed and was more I had more enjoyment from the audience, but even then, I don't know that I really got this like deeper meaning out of it. So I'm just curious what y'all thought.
So after all that, I think it kind of worked. I think the meta stuff kind of worked is how I would describe it. Yeah, that's it. I would just say kind of. Is that a cop out? I have no clue, but I think it partially worked. I liked the monologue in the beginning, the best of the meta commentary, and then it got worse and worse as time went on. And then the audience was supposed to be annoying. I think it's a shot against, you know, like fans and critics, like, you know, being just absolute ridiculous when it comes to movies and stuff, which, to be fair, isn't going away and hasn't stopped since then, obviously. But yeah, I'd say it kind of worked. It's a little half baked of an idea, which is interesting for
it was trying to be a little bit deeper than it was.
Yeah, they didn't really put in as much of the effort to get it there as maybe they could have. The tire was kind of half the yeah. It was just like a two half baked premises together. So, but they kind of complemented each other a little bit. So I'd say it partially worked. I'd say like half. Everything about this movie is half working. So I would say the premises half work each. So yeah, that's. What do you think, Lisa?
Yeah,
deeper than it. It tried to be deeper than it.
They were trying to be deeper than they were. I did, however, like when they found out that the kid was right. Because he's like trying to tell him that the tire went into room 16 and he's like, oh, go away. You're banging crap up again.
Give me a pizza. Give me with double.
Give me a pizza. And then he's like, oh no, the kid was right. And he gets his head blown up.
And whose heads get blown up is very arbitrary. Also.
Yeah.
Well, then I gotta say the guy who's being a dick, the dick fan, right? Was when he got killed was pretty great by the tricycle. So I was pretty happy with that. I will say.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really hard to talk about this movie.
That's what I said at the top of this. It's such a weird movie, and it's so hard to really describe and get into. I don't know. Yeah, let's talk about the ending. So, I mean, the ending, we talked about the tire fire that sends them off into a rampage because they're trying, because one person has survived.
It's genocide.
So they're having all tires have to go. And of course, they still don't get the right tire, right?
Of course not.
Of course.
Well, Tricycle got 3 tires. Crap. Oh man. You're in trouble.
Yeah. So what? Then he goes on the 3-day killing spree, and then they try to use a mannequin to trick Robert into.
Oh my god, well, that scene was just annoying, and it was about bad dialogue in movies. You know, that was kind of. I get what they're trying to do, but again, it didn't quite work. Right? Yeah, it's always the same. Do we just go to the final cut on this one? Right? I mean,
Nate's ready. Wow,
I'm ready.
Well, hold on.
That's the first time in a long time that Nate's like, I don't want to talk about this.
You're not going to even talk about the guy in the wheelchair getting blown up? That was pretty awesome. I guess I said it. The guy in the
That's what I said. I said
out,
that terrible fan. The guy he got.
Okay, I got you. Sorry. And the tricycle and all. I mean, did you sit through the credits and watch the opening scene again?
I did. And no one was there. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm back down on it. All right. Well, we talked long enough.
Got him down.
We talked long enough. Right. All right. Yeah. Let's get into it.
Sure. Let's get into the final cut.
Final cut.
I feel like we've done Chloe a horrible disservice. She's waited so long to hear us talk about this film, and this is what she got. So
no, Chloe did us a disservice. No.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, Chloe. Lisa going in on Chloe. All right.
Oh goodness. All right. Man, I who wants to go first? Who wants to stake their claim on where this movie is?
Kick it off, Lisa.
What did I give last week's movie, Nate? Do you have it in front of you?
It was a 2.
I was gonna say, I thought it was a 2.
Aftershock got a 2.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Oh man.
Was Rubber worse than Aftershock?
This is where we're at as a podcast.
It's really weird. I think I'll give this one a 3.
Okay.
Because I do like movies that kind of have that like weird meta stuff. Like I said, that would to me, when they're talking about the audience and stuff, that to me is the most interesting part of the movie. Not so much when the tire's just blowing up people randomly. So that part was okay. And then them just somehow getting this tire to stay upright the whole freaking time. That was pretty good too. So,
so
3 out of 10.
There's a lot of effort to keep this tire moving. Like
the special effects or whatever you call them, practical effects, and the audience. That's why I got a 3. The sheriff is pretty good with him being like, "No, this isn't real.
Yeah,
shoot me, just shoot me." Yeah. So, yeah, he did a good job. Did I need a kid dying? No.
Oh yeah. How did I forget that? Oh man. Okay.
Yep.
Up 1 point for me. No.
Oh my gosh.
I'll go next here. So that gets me up to a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10 sheriff monologues. So, as we talked about it, I went up. I think I probably started with a 2 or a 3, and now I'm up to a 5. So I can't even imagine how did I think it was this good before is really the true mystery for me.
Right. I feel
I don't know who that guy was. Yeah, 5 out of 10. I would say 5 out of 10 tire fires. So everything we said, it's weird. I see where they're going. A little bit better execution. This movie could have been a true classic with a little bit better execution, I think. The way that the director told the story, the meta story, I think could have been like cleaned up very nicely and a little bit more cohesive. Just a little bit more cohesion, not too cohesive, because this is a weird movie and it's supposed to be weird. But like a movie like Titan, right, Mitch?
Oh my God.
Weird ass movie.
In that weird ass movie, yeah.
Weird ass movie, right? For sure. But like the way all the elements work together was just tied together very well, right? Everything for me. It was weird a lot, but the threads and everything worked together well, and it made the story impactful. And this movie is not even close to that. So I don't know why I'm comparing. I guess they're both French. But yeah, 5 out of 10 for me. Still, I would recommend to watch the movie just to be like, I watched that movie. I don't know if I can recommend it as a good movie or a bad movie. It's just a movie. So just watch it and then don't eat the turkey. That's my recommendation. All right, Mitch, what do you got?
Oh God, I don't want to have anything, to be honest with you. I don't know.
And you saw this movie willingly before.
Well, I did. I saw it back when it was like in theaters, like that little local like Heights theater thing.
River Oaks Theater.
Yeah, River Oaks Theater. Sorry, thank you. And when they had like the midnight movies, and it was like, oh, and I don't know. I think a lot of those movies I walked away having a lot more favorable views because I think I just enjoy going to like midnight movies and I did and all that, and really this. I don't know.
Yeah, watching this as a midnight movie sounds awesome.
Does it
compared to watching it at home? Yes, I
guess maybe.
Yes,
I like you, Nate. I had more favorable memories of this than I did watching in the cold, sober light of day.
Great.
I'm gonna give this 4 out of 10 tread marks. I don't know. I think I wanted more stuff like when the maid comes in to clean the room and there's like tire marks on the bed sheets and the tire is taking a shower. Like that
Titan had that too, actually. Oh God, it did. Oh my God. Did Titan rip off rubber? Yeah, that's the question.
If the movie's gonna just be absurd, just be absurd. Don't kind of wrap it in this weird sort of layer or you're trying to like make a point about something, and the point is that none of these movies have you could have done that by being just ridiculous, I don't know. I feel like all that stuff's there to make you feel like you didn't just waste an hour and a half of your life watching a movie about a killer.
It's a lot of wraparound for a 75-minute movie about a killer tire.
Right.
It's a little bit extra.
It's one of those things of like, if you're going to do that, you've got to like stick that landing a little bit better. Right. And so this could have been a 60-minute host. I think that would have made it a better movie. 60 minutes. Made me want to watch Hobo with a Shotgun. That's the movie I wanted this to be, basically. Tire with a shotgun is what I was.
This movie's from France, so it was not happening that way.
Somewhere between that and Titan or whatever.
We need to review Titan because I don't want to.
We don't. I don't want to talk about that movie again. You can have your own.
On the 1 year anniversary of my birthday when we went to go see it. We should review it again. 1 year later, Titan. 1 year later. I like this. I like all of this.
I don't like any of it. I don't want to do it.
What is your score again? Did you get a score? I don't think
I said 4. I
said
4. 4.
Oh, 4. Okay. Just making sure. I marked that down. All right. I'm like, did he say all that without a score? Did I like just get hypnotized? I don't know what's happening.
Oh my God.
All right. So 3, 4, 5. Interesting. Okay. Well, good. Well, next week we have an actual movie that I think you guys both like. So,
yes. So look, Chloe, once again, thank you so much for the 5-star review.
Except from Lisa. Lisa
says get bodied, but the rest of us. No, of course. Thank you so much. I at this point, look, all I can say is it wasn't Human Centipede 3. So there's that. With that, Nate, where can they find us?
You can find us as always at TX5 Massacre on Twitter, Texas Podcast Massacre everywhere else. Give us a call, 346-246-3143. Let us know your most non-reasonable movie moments. Or just a little support for Lisa. I think she'd appreciate that. I think you just grappled with, how many episodes we do again? Every time it seems like a surprise. So I'm not.
Yep.
That many?
And yet every time
I feel like every time you're just like, that many?
I'm not gonna lie, I sat here and I was like, wait, I spend probably at least 2 to 3 hours a week on this podcast. So that's dedication.
Extrapolate that out for your whole life.
I wouldn't do that. There's no good that'll come from that.
Pre and post, because how many horror movies were before the podcast. So if you just extrapolate that all
boy, you're right. That's a lot.
Years of your life just gone. So anyway, hashtag Team Lisa on our social medias that I just mentioned. The number again, 246-3143. And yeah, next week we have, I think, a vastly superior movie coming out. Yeah, some fun stuff happening in our personal lives as well. So it's just there's a lot going on.
Stay tuned next week because there may be one that Lisa actually likes.
Ooh,
man.
Tune in to
I feel like what happened was, it's like with your kids, like you just let them like, okay, you can like stay up late or whatever. Like Lisa has now gotten used to like, oh, movies can be good. Like, I feel like I failed as a parent at this point because Lisa has hope that not every movie. I can eat ice cream every day, right? Like I could eat ice cream every day and have good movies. No, that's not how it should be. I don't. Maybe I can never take control back. Maybe like there has to be enough good movies now every so often. And I just feel like, I just lost my way as a parent. So I'm looking at looking back at the old thing, like, man, how many bad movies did we do in a row? I'm looking, it's like 6 or 7. And now that's not happening anymore. So, I don't know. It's changed. Call in at that number and let us know if you want us to do 6 or 7 bad movies in a row, and we'll get back to you. So.
Yeah, I think it's important to understand. I don't know what any of what Nate just said was, but but whatever that was, any of that was supposed to be.
At least it was my child. I don't know what was happening. Moral of the story is there's another good movie coming. There you go.
Christ. Well, there's that. Look, from all of us here at Texas Podcast Massacre, thank you so much for tuning in, and just keep telling yourself it's only a movie. Good night.